Hi, this is Mariah Gullo from The Hollywood Reporter, and I'm in studio today with Omari Hardwick. Hi, Omari.
Hey.
How are you?
Hi, folks. How you doing? I'm good.
Omari, the
appreciate you
star
having me.
of power. I'm so excited to talk to you.
Thank you.
Because
Thanks for having me.
here comes season 5.
Which they say that you figured out something if you got 5 seasons of a show, right?
Absolutely.
We're on to something, so it's pretty
Absolutely.
cool.
And last season we left off at a cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think we always, it's safe to say we always leave off.
maybe every episode, actually.
Yeah, that's true too. You know, I think the writers' room, obviously headed by our showrunner and creator, and Courtney Kemp, we figured out that which Curtis, being 50 Cent, our exec producer as well, we figured out what his mantra had always been for the show, which was pace, pace, pace.
Yeah.
And so you can earn the cliffhanger moments, you know, toward the end of, as you said, per episode, but more so, or more specifically, at the end of each season, you can earn those if you've paced throughout the duration of 10 episodes. 8 the first season, and then 10, you know, second to the 5th season now, which is soon come.
Yeah.
Soon come.
So we've got some new themes coming up.
Yeah, we do.
We have a new alliance.
Well, yeah, and still thematically we have an incarcerated individual, even though he is physically out of prison at this point, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? He's still figuratively sort of, because once you're locked up and the person that you know is responsible for locking you up, that being Ghost Mistress and Angela, played by Leela Lauren, at that point, even though she aided him in getting out, there's still a major level of trust issues that he's dealing with. He feels like he's being haunted by a bunch of ghosts, you know, pun intended. Ghost can't figure out which ghost he needs to look out for the most. So I think he still feels quite incarcerated and like he's sleeping with one and a half eye open, you know, trying to figure out who done it, you know, or who's trying to bring him down. And so, as you said, we now are at this place of flush out. And so season 5 is definitely about flushing out the different triumvirates, the different alliances, and whose loyalty is not to be trusted.
Yeah, it seems like at the end of the season, the kind of the big loser in this is Tasha. Is she going to be all right?
Yeah, it feel like a episode of Big Loser all of a sudden. No, I don't necessarily think she's the big loser. Why would you say such a thing?
I'm just worried about her. I'm concerned that she's about to take the fall.
No, you can't be worried about that. Because first and foremost, she's the mother of not only of Ghost kids, and obviously we know the other big cliffhanger was that they both together lost their daughter. Yeah. Obviously, and we're still trying to figure out, and you know, season 5 will reveal that, you know, who's responsible for that. Right. Who's to be blamed? Ghost, with his level of narcissism, which has increased over the 5 years of the show. I think it's what the fans have enjoyed the most, is that he's still a humble man who, when I say humble, obviously there's quotations around it, but he still has a heart for family and for doing right or breaking good from bad, right, what have you. But at the end of the day, or the beginning of Sunday, this is a guy that is still narcissistic enough that even if he goes to sleep at night feeling the blame, you know, for the death of his daughter, he's definitely deflecting it on everybody else. He's definitely not wanting to put it on himself. So she's the big loser in that way. He's had an affair for the duration of the show at this point. She obviously has stepped out as well. So there's been hurt back and forth. It's been, you know, reciprocated, but she's still the mother of this family. She's definitely, and I think Notori does a great job, Notori Naughton that is, of playing it, you know, where she is making sure the fans pay attention to the fact that she's a doting mother, and that she definitely is about her family remaining a unit. But she's also the Clyde, or the Bonnie, excuse me, to his Clyde. She knows where to hide the gun. She knows where to hide the drugs. She'd rather him remain a drug dealer while he wants to dream and do entrepreneur endeavors and be this different kind of guy. So I wouldn't worry about her as much, because they're all broken characters. So if I were you, or if I were you, the fan, I would say to sort of worry about all of us. I mean, the jury is out as to who's going to get it the quickest. We, you know, Curtis and Courtney set up this beautiful show where by season 1, Ghost could have been got.
Yeah.
Ghost could have died by season 1, and he's the title of the lead character. So
Yeah.
all of us can go down, and Ghost needs Tommy more than ever this season.
Yeah.
And he needs Kanan, who he tried to take
Yeah.
off the earth at one point, and
I
so-
just see that alliance falling apart by episode 4.
Well, really?
I just don't think that those 3 guys can be in the same room together for too long.
If they can take a deep breath. My mother, when I would get out of sorts, she used to tell me as a kid, Omari, count to 10. No miedo renkio. Like, if they can figure that out, then,
Right.
and remember what, at the inception of their relationship, remember what existed between the 3 of them,
Right.
which was love.
Yeah.
I always tell Joseph Shakur playing Tommy, I always say, as an actor, as Omari talking to Joseph, I always say, it's about the love.
Yeah.
Remember the love. So if the 3 of them can remember that at one point they liked each other,
Mm-hmm.
which, like is a very underrated word. It doesn't even have to be about the love, but that you actually dug each other, then maybe they can be of alliance beyond 4 episodes.
Right.
Damn, you ain't even give us a half the season. Not even 5 episodes?
Speaking of Tommy, now we know he comes from Italian blood. Are we going to see some wise guys this season?
I think we are. We know that he, as you said, comes from, that contingency where we thought that he was just of Irish-American blood. And as we know historically, and I think, again, Courtney has done such a great job of setting up the present modern spectrum of that, which I've always felt like was Shakespeare in its backdrop. Our show was very Shakespearean to me, and many shows are, but particularly ours. I think she's done a great job of allowing people that have enough precocious nature to go back and think about the history of New York, since it plays such a paramount character within the show as a city. So if you go back into the history, the mob was equally as potent as it pertained to the Irish mob,
Right.
as it was in terms of the Italian mob, and the development of what we've known New York crime to be. And so he's already got that side, the Hell's Kitchen, Irish clad mobster reality of how they navigated New York. And now that we know he's got, as you said, the mobster side of Italian blood, we definitely will see his father, who we ended the season learning was his father.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely see him, the incredible William Sadler, who of course played his father, and Ghost learns in jail is his father, but not yet telling Tommy that he's learned that it's his father. So I don't know how many wise guys we'll see without giving too much away, but we'll definitely see that relationship be of something, Tommy and his now father that he's never had before.
Are you a fan of gangster movies?
Oh, come on, who's not?
All right, I got a gangster movie quiz for you.
Shoot.
All right, I'm going to tell you the name of the movie, and you tell me the city the movie takes place in.
Oh, wow, that's hard.
Okay? The Untouchables.
Alien Ness, Chicago.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mean Streets.
New York.
The Departed.
Boston.
Yep. Mi Vida Loca.
Yeah? I don't know.
It's about a female Chicano gang.
I didn't know that. I've never seen that.
It's LA. You should check it out.
I was going to
It's a good
say LA
90s
just
indie
because
movie.
obviously,
I threw you a ringer
no,
there.
it's of Spanish descent, so I was going to imagine that. Or Mexico, but it's of LA. Well,
Yeah.
Mexico is LA, right? Or vice versa.
It's the same.
There you have it.
Scarface.
Miami.
Yeah. Bugsy.
Bugsy Siegel, New York. No? Bugsy Siegel, not New York, Chicago? Where?
Las Vegas.
Ah, yeah.
He founded Las Vegas, but I'm sure there
Yeah.
are a lot of scenes in New York.
Yeah, he did fine. Okay, he was the guy, right?
Yeah.
Bugsy Siegel is the guy.
Yeah. All right, so a couple more questions before I let you go.
Okay, I'm here. I'm here. However
what-
long you guys need
Oh,
me.
awesome.
I am
Okay,
here.
well then let's settle in.
You know?
What's more fun for you to film? Torture scenes where you're torturing somebody, or scenes where your love scenes?
That's a great question. Sometimes the love scenes are of torture. right? I would say the torture scenes are definitely more fun. It's never easy to do a love scene.
Yeah.
Contrary
It's vulnerable.
to yeah, not just that. It's awkward.
Yeah.
The vulnerability is fine. You know, I think I definitely have the button that allows for the vulnerability to come out in whatever I've been able to do. I don't think that's my issue, but it's just awkward.
Yeah.
You know, they say closed set, right? And you see that on the call sheet, like, okay, we got a closed set. Sometimes you see that phrase prior to even knowing that you have a love scene, but you see closed set, and you go, I must have a love scene coming up. And then you get your sides, but it's never necessarily a closed set.
No,
It's a bunch of
can't never be too close.
It's a bunch of closed mouths because nobody wants to be the first person to expel any air.
Yes.
But it's not a closed set. They're not very comfy.
Yeah. We have all of television kind of pushing towards more diverse casting and series,
Yeah,
but what's
absolutely.
the next step?
That's a great question. You did good, girl. That's awesome. I think we have to continue with. I think it's the divide between the genders is to me the next step, and then that if being 1A, then 1B would be, you know, and what I mean by that, the next step or the divide between the gender, what I mean by that is more female directors. More female producers, you know, more execs at studios that happen to be female.
Yeah.
And then if that's 1A, because I think it always starts with, I don't think God sat there and did the color thing. And I happen to believe in God. I think that he did the gender thing. So it starts with that to me. You know, you have to allow women a level of power that they haven't been able to have, but yet they possess. Often at levels that we as men would be enviable of if we saw how well women could pull off what I know that they can pull off. And so that would be first and foremost. And if that's 1A, I think 1B would be allowing for the minority within this industry. And again, specified often to America and Americans being a part of this film, because I happen to be American, that brown people have a shot better. That was Kaepernick's whole point.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't trying to curse or defame the flag. He was saying it should be more.
Yeah.
The 50 stars on it should represent something that represents myself as a brown person. That's all he was doing. He was actually rooting for it to be better or to be its best. And so if that's taking a knee, I would do the same thing as it pertains to my industry that I call home and that I put food on the table being a part of, allowing for the flag of what we've been to have stars on it that look like women, to have stars on it that look like brown people. So I think those are the obvious next steps. Continue keeping that train moving. It's not enough to just go, hey, we did it. See, we're good. Let's not converse about it anymore. Like we got to keep the action going.
Right. So Hollywood, you're on notice. The future is female.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You heard it from this
The future
guy.
is female. I mean, the world has always been female. We don't come out of the stomachs of men. I don't know how the memo was missed. Not yet. Girl, what science you been studying?
Oh, Arnold Schwarzenegger movies.
Yeah,
no big
that's
deal.
true. That's right. Yes.
Well, Omari,
It's not a
thank you.
tumor.
Exactly.
Yeah. We love you, Arnie.
We do. Omari, thank you so much for coming
Thank
by.
you. Thanks for having me.
Good luck with season 5 of Power.
I appreciate it. Thank you
Right.
so much. And thank you, fans. Peace.